All right, coming in at number 29 on the Locked On Senators NHL Draft rankings, we're going to Kelowna in the WHL, where we have Andrew Cristall.
Ross and listeners of the show for a while, you guys know Kelowna has a dear place in my heart. That's my Western Hockey League team, so I was very excited to cover a player from Kelowna. And this guy could play on the Kitchener Rangers, a team I absolutely hate, and I would still love to watch this guy because his highlights are mind-blowing. And I don't think that's hyperbolic. Like, if you watch his offensive highlights, it will blow your mind. Like, we talk about video game-like skills for Kent Johnson in previous draft. Andrew Cristall has video game type skills.
They're best friends too. Those guys grew up together.
Oh, God.
Kent Johnson, Andrew Cristall, and that kid named Connor Bedard. They all play on a ball hockey team together in a league in North Vancouver. Imagine seeing that on your opponent case next year. Next game, you're like, okay, it's going to be a tough one tonight. But lottery pick skill is one of the things I have on the side for him because it is so much fun watching him, and lots of goals as well for him in the WHL. 39 goals in 54 games this past season. 95 points, 50 penalty minutes as well. And everyone talks about how undersized he is. I mean, he's 5'10". Like, he could use to put on a few pounds, but like, is that really why you're going to pass on Andrew Cristall? Like, we just saw Jonathan Marchessault, who I'd almost say is a bit of a player comparable in a sense, not where he was at the draft, but where he is now, where he blends this mix of skill and competitiveness all into this ball of fury. I think Andrew Cristall as a left winger, left shot, is an extremely high upside pick if you're getting him anywhere from 20 and beyond. I would be shocked if he lasts to the second round. I'd be shocked if he lasts till 29, where our average is, because Corey Pronman has completely skewed this ranking. He has him at 68th on his list. Craig Button has him at 35. Chris Peters has him at 24. Elite Prospects at 19. And Scott Wheeler has him at 13 on his list. Undersized, lots of skill. That adds up there as well. But to me, it's shocking that he is 68th on anybody's list. So as you give me another rundown on him, I want to go pull up Corey Pronman's thoughts on Andrew Cristall, because to me, it makes absolutely no sense.
Well, it's interesting, Ross, because EP, one of their quotes about him is the highs are very, very high, but the lows are very, very low. I want to start with the highs, though, because I'm so excited to talk about this kid. I mean, EP gave him the second best hands in the draft, and you can see why. Yeah, probably Connor Bedard. I'm going to go on a limb and guess that. But yeah, he's got the dirtiest angles I've ever seen, honestly. Like, it's incredible what he's doing. He effortlessly weaves through multiple defenders in a row. He's toe dragging left, right, and center. And there was a play where he had two guys slip and fall trying to catch him. Like, that is absolutely wild stuff. And he loves to use his backhand. He can roof it on goalies. He does that quite often. But honestly, Ross, it was almost like time. This guy's like a time bender. Like, he would come into the offensive zone and I'm like, what's he doing? He's got no space here. He's putting himself into a corner. Boom, inside out on a defender. Now he's got wide open space in the slot for a good shot or a good pass. Like, it's just, people cannot get the puck off this guy's stick when he wants. So I don't know if you have any more positives you want to add to that, Ross, or you've got Corey Pronman's quote now, which I guess we can transition that into the negatives, but there certainly are some shortcomings to his game.
Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, Corey Pronman leads off just saying very talented offensively, puck on a string type of hands, and routinely beats defenders with his stick handling. Highly imaginative offensive mind, very good vision. So dangerous on the power play because of his skill and a great shot. The concerns come down to his frame and especially his skating. Lack of foot speed for the higher levels and has an awkward skating mechanic as well. Saying that he often defaults to like a 10-2 where his toes are out and he's kind of, almost figure skate style. But he says, and here's how Pronman finishes, says to justify the various risks, he's going to have to score a lot at the NHL level.
And I think he might score a lot at the NHL level. I mean,
I wouldn't bet against him.
It doesn't seem that crazy, but here's the thing. Like, he doesn't have much of a defensive game at all. No. And if he's not feeling the puck on his stick, he's kind of invisible out there. Like,
good news is he usually is feeling the puck on his stick.
Yeah, I mean, you hope so. And when he turns it on, there's not many players, honestly, that we've covered that can even come close to him. But the fact is, you got to have a B game. This guy has an A plus game and then a D minus game, right? Like, and that is not going to fly with coaches. You're not going to be put in spots to succeed if you can't round out your game better. I think he's got to work on the skating. He's got to find a way to be at least not a liability away from the puck. But I just think, Ross, this is with Edstrom. I mentioned if you're a team with a dry prospect pool, you don't take him because he's just kind of a safe, boring pick. If you're a team like, let's say, Pittsburgh Penguins, Boston Bruins,
he's going to be a Nashville Predator.
Ooh, interesting. I want to get your take on that. But if you're a team with no high-end prospects in your system, you get in your batter stance, you expect a fastball, and you swing your absolute shoulders off. I want your shoes falling off. I want the bat flip going into the second row of the crowd. Like, you give everything you've got in this swing. And if you develop him right, you might just be running around the bases.
It goes back to what Barry Trotz said, where he's going to fill out his roster through trades, free agents, all that. He said, give me the highest upside players in the draft. So,
well, and that's what Nashville's done, Ross, is they take high upside guys in the draft, most notably defensemen. For the last decade, they've had some of the best defensive prospects, but they're like, we got so many of these guys, we'll trade them off to get what we need. And that they've done a good job of that.
Yeah, they certainly have. So I'm calling my shot here that he's going to be a Nashville Predator. But whoever takes Andrew Cristall, and if it's your team, get ready for the highlight reel to rack up enormous miles next season in Kelowna and beyond. That's Andrew Cristall coming in at number 29 on our Locked On Senators NHL Draft Rankings.